The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
Listen to an incredible story. So Rabbi and Mrs. Mendel are spending the summer in Camp Malka. And here they are in Camp Malka, and it came to the end of the first half, and they had 2 days off, and they thought to themselves, you know what? Our son is learning in yeshiva in Chicago, and he's making a big siyum. It's the end of this man. He's making a big siyum on Masechtas Bava Metzia. And we're really so proud of him. Wouldn't it be amazing if we can go and be there for the siyum? So they decided to make the arrangements. It wasn't easy. But they arranged tickets at LaGuardia Airport. They went all the way from the Catskills, and they came to LaGuardia, and they had time to the flight. But when they got there, they looked at Mrs. Mendel's ticket and they said, you're in, fine, no problem. But when they looked at Rabbi Mendel's ticket, there was a mistake on the ticket, and somehow it said his first name and his wife's, also her first name. It didn't say Mendel, and therefore they said, sorry, your ticket is not good. You can't go on this flight. They tried to explain, no, it's a silly mistake. It should have said our last name, but it didn't. There was a mix-up on the computer, a glitch in the system. But to no avail. They didn't know what to do. They wouldn't be able to get on the flight together. So then they decided, you know what? Let's try to get another ticket. We'll get another ticket and we'll try to get on the flight. And so they go, and it wasn't easy, and they had to purchase another ticket. And they start making their way to the gate. They start making their way to the gate. And once again, something incredible happens. Mrs. Mendel's ticket is good. She could go on. But Rabbi Mendel's ticket, for some reason, although it has now his proper name on it, they said, sorry, your ticket's not valid. They didn't understand. They said, listen, lady, if you want to go on the flight, you could go on, but he can't go on. And her husband was saying, go, so just go on the flight, and I'll miss it. It's okay, at least you'll be there. And she said, no, I'm not going if you're not going. Meanwhile, while they're saying that, they said, listen, there's people waiting for this flight on standby. If you don't take this ticket, if you don't take the seat, someone else will take it. And sure enough, they said, sorry, you can't even go on this flight anymore. We let someone else on, gate is closed. And dejected, they walk away from the gate. And of course, you could understand the feelings and emotions. So much went into this. And Mrs. Mendel began to cry. It was too much. So much went into this flight. They traveled far. They made so many arrangements. They did so much for it to work out. And she started to cry. She said, Hashem, what's going on? We tried so hard. It was very disappointing. And as they walked away, they realized there's nothing else to do. They tried to make the flight, and now they'll just have to go back to camp, empty-handed. As they're walking in the airport, instead of walking the left, they started walking right, deeper into the airport. And they call their son, and the son is saying, Ma, so when are you coming? Ta, when are you coming? And they said, sorry, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to make it. There was a problem with the flight. And as they're walking, all of a sudden Rabbi Mendel notices Rav Elia Brudny's in the airport. Rav Elia Brudny. So he goes over to Rav Elia and asks him, you know, I'm on this phone with my son. He made a siyum tonight. Rosh Hashiva. Can you give my son a bracha? He made a special siyum. Can you give him a bracha? And the Rosh Hashiva says, yes, of course, I'll give him a bracha. And he takes the phone and he begins to give him a bracha, and he wishes him lots of hatzlacha. And then after he hangs up, he turns to the couple. He says, what's going on? What brings you over here? Why does your wife look sad? He says, well, we were going to go to Chicago, but we had a problem with the flight. We missed the flight. We're not going to make it to my son's siyum. We really wanted to be there, but we just can't make it now. So Rav Elia Brudny turns to them and says, you know, I'm also supposed to go to Chicago, but a lot of the flights have been canceled. So I'm speaking to Askanim on the phone, and there's an important asifa in Chicago tonight, and I have to be there. And they told me they're going to send for me a private jet. They arrange a private jet, and I'm going to be able to go. And I want you two to come along with me. And he speaks to Askin, and he tells him, listen, when you send that plane, Make sure there are 2 extra seats. I have a couple that needs to make it to Chicago. And you could understand that Mrs. Mendel couldn't believe it at that moment. Rav Brudny would think about her because she wants to go to a siyum for her son. That's a gadol. What a gadol. It's unbelievable. And there they are. They're in the airport. And yes, the private jet was arranged. And the couple got on the plane. And they went to Chicago to their son's siyum. And they came at the end of the siyum. And they gave their son a big mazel tov. And of course a big hug. And said, Revelia Brudny, the power of a mother's tears. Can you imagine? Here she was. There was no way she's getting on that plane. It's all over. It's all lost. The plane, it's finished. You're not going to Chicago. But her tears broke through. And Hashem could say, you know what? Yeah, you want a plane? I'll give you your own plane. I'll give you your own jet to get there. How many times, Rabbi Say, in life does it happen to us? We're disappointed. We have tzaras, nebuch, it's difficult. And then we could say we could give up, or no. We could daven and keep on davening. Because Hashem can do anything. If you need a bracha in your life, if you need hatzlacha, if you need refuah, if you need a shidduch, Tu B'Av is coming, you need a shidduch, don't stop davening. Because when a Yid davens, Hashem hears, because Nachamu, Nachamu Ami. You're still my people. You're still my sons and my daughters. So never give up, because a Yid never gives up. And realize that anything you need in life is just a tefillah away. You keep davening. Hashem's listening. And no matter how far it seems, no matter how impossible it may appear for your tefillah to be answered, don't give up. Keep on davening. Be'ez Hashem will answer your tefillah. He will give you what you need in life. He'll give you that bracha because the Tata is waiting to hear your voice.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org